What's up, everybody? Welcome to Wednesday. Hopefully you're having a great day, and if you're reading this early in the morning, hopefully your day gets great. Anyway, a lot of you have read about the decision by WTC and Ironman to ban all recording devices, which would result in an automatic disqualification. They're talking about GoPros, smartphones, Oakley Meta glasses as well. And I've read some posts about this, and I've had some text message exchanges with Angela Hollowell, as well as a conversation with Santino on our Beyond the Training show that we recorded yesterday that'll come out in a few days. Anyway, I think I have a unique situation in that I am a content creator. I have also raced Ironman distance events as well as half Ironman distance events, and I have also been in bike wrecks at Ironman events. And so I have a perspective here that may not gel with a lot of other people's, but it's my perspective, it's my thinking, and this is my channel. Anyway, so I think Ironman is doing the right thing, and I think it's because of athlete safety, which has got to be paramount, because it is better to put these rules in place today and then scale them back as you find out that things aren't going as bad as you anticipated, rather than being reactionary. And here's my story about being at Ironman Arizona back in 2012 and why I think having this situation set up is probably the right move today. It was mile 10 of the bike. It's the first aid station, and there was an athlete who decided that he wanted to stop at the aid station, I guess, and wasn't thinking about it to begin with. I'm not really sure, but he made a sharp right turn into the aid station and went down right in front of me. I didn't have time to brake, go around him or anything else, and I went right over top of him and down as well. And it could have ruined my race. I was fortunate that it didn't. There were bike mechanics there. They set my tire, they set my saddle, and I was off and running. But event could have been over right then and there after all those days, weeks, and months of training. And I think about that from the perspective of somebody riding with Oakley Meta glasses or trying to use a GoPro to record as they're riding their bike. And you may not think about this, but if you're headed forward and all of a sudden something catches your vision out of the corner of your eye and you're like, oh shit, let me go look at that, and you turn and there might be something in the road that you weren't aware of to begin with, and you could hit that and you can go down, and that could cause a big backup behind you. And yes, there are rules where you have separation, but remember, you also have rules where you can pass somebody and you can be in their draft zone for a certain amount of time, and all it takes is that 1 second for something to happen. Now, here's where I get hung up. On the run. Now, if somebody's running with a GoPro, somebody's running with their smartphone, or they're running with their glasses, initially I'm thinking to myself, what's the problem? The other problem is that how do you stop somebody from not doing it on the bike and doing it on the run, right? Are you going to be policing that whole transition area? That's the first thing. The second thing is there can be congestion on a bike run because some of these paths that people are running on aren't that wide. I remember at Ironman Texas, when you're running around Lake Woodlands and you're in the sort of like the busy section where a lot of the spectators are, that gets really narrow at parts. And so if you have somebody who is deciding that they want to take pictures or photos or anything like that, and they come to an abrupt stop, that can create issues. And so I can see why you would want to figure out how to stop that from happening as well. Came up with a kind of a quasi solution. I don't know if it works for everybody, but it might work for some of them. What if you had designated picture spots? In other words, you had a spot on the course that was big enough you could get views of certain things, whatever it might be. Maybe it's overlooking Lake Woodlands. I know Ironman Arizona isn't taking place, but Tempe Town Lake might be something that you wanted to take pictures of. Wherever the race might be, there might be 1 or 2 or 3 locations where you could set aside space for athletes to get in there to take pictures that are off the course, doesn't create congestion, doesn't create scenarios in which people can get backed up or cause races to be impacted. First question I thought of is, what happens if it's busy? That's going to happen, right? You can move on, and if they have 2, 3, 4, 5 all across the entire course, then you're going to be able to take it at a different location. Look, it's your race. It's your opportunity to stop and pull over if you want to wait for somebody to take a picture so that you can take yours or shoot a video. That's up to you. You're going to be able to figure that out on your own. But I think that could be a quasi-solution for runners during the race. I'm still hung up on this idea that you don't do it for the cycling part of it. It could be just the reaction that I have from being in a couple of wrecks, the one I told you about at Arizona, and then I suffered another one where I literally cracked my helmet and it broke, and that scared me to pieces for so long on getting back on the bike. So I'm out on the bike, honestly. I'm going to put my foot down. Not that anybody's listening to me, but I'm putting my foot down on the idea of recording devices while on the bike. On the run, maybe there's some leeway. So maybe as Ironman gets through this process and they see that things are okay on the run, maybe they will allow people to take out the meta glasses or use a GoPro or snap videos with their phones, that kind of thing. What do you think? What do you think is a good solution to allowing this to happen? Maybe you're pro ban all the way through and don't allow that to happen. I get it. It is content creation. It is marketing for those races as well. So maybe there's some leeway there, or maybe you're full-on content creation, allow them to do it from start to finish. Drop your thoughts in the comments. I'd love to hear them. I'll see you next time. Have a great one, everybody.